Bill Brady, Ecclesia Framework, speaking to you today about gateways. I'm going to do this in at least two different phases. This first phase is simply going to be learning to picture gateways. If you're near a door, as in a door to a room, you can go to the door and open the door and close the door and get the feeling for what that feels like to open and close that door. Once you've done that, you can sit down and just picture doors. Much of what we do in Heavenly Realms begins with imagination and then moves to reality. And so first, let's just start using our imagination and imagine doors. Imagine elevator doors. What kind of elevator doors you choose to imagine is entirely up to you. Imagine an ornate gateway of some kind as an entrance to a garden. Again, the choice of what kind of gateway you imagine is entirely up to you. Use your imagination. Imagine doors as in the door to a house. Imagine doors as in a door to a public building. You're going to run into all kinds of doors in heavenly realms. Jesus himself said, "I am the door." Actually, he said, "I am the gate of the sheep." I think he said both. If Jesus is a gate, we're like him, then we're also gates. So there's a certain sense that we're a gate. Can you picture yourself as a gate, like a door and a gateway that opens to and fro? Opens to your front, opens to your back. Picture yourself as a door that opens just to the front and then closes. You are a door. On an ascension once, I saw a golden elevator, had golden elevator doors. We got in, there was a bell that rang, and an angel said, "Going up," and the elevator went up. Came out on top, and there was a garden, and there was Jesus meeting us in the garden. Now, I just painted a picture for you with words, and your imagination followed the picture that I painted for you. And in heavenly realms, you'll be able to follow along. The thing about a door is not so much what it looks like as the fact that it opens and closes. And so if you are a person that sees well, you can see the door and see yourself opening and closing it. If you're a person that doesn't see quite as well as that, you can simply know the door is there. The other night, I was in a situation where it was late at night and the lights had been turned off, and I'm walking towards the door of a room, and my hand reached out and grabbed the edge of the door. It turned out that door was almost closed, but it was right in front of me, ready for me to walk into it. My hand had reached out and grabbed the exact edge of that door exactly. In the dark, I knew it was there, and I was able to grab it exactly. I used to pride myself, I still can do this now, roll a quarter along the floor and be able to pick it up between my forefinger and my thumb as it's rolling. Same kind of thing here, though. I grabbed the door exactly in the dark. I knew it was there, even though I couldn't see it. Couldn't see it at all. It was pitch black. So you can know something is there, whether you can see it or not. And then God, of course, can speak to you and say, "Hey, there's a door there." I mean, he might not say it quite that way. but you can be told there's a door, or you can still sense there's a door. And the key thing about a door is that you open and close it. Now, take a look at the diagram of the spirit, soul, and body. I have two of them on the chat there. One that's looking down from on top, and the other one's kind of a side view. You can actually see the doors as doors. And again, the key thing about a door is being able to know it's there and opening it. The view from the top, personally, well, first off, this is a functional view. I mean, your spirit, soul, and body doesn't look like this. It just shows you where that there are doors and that the doors have these names. How do we know that? Because the original pioneer, Ian Clayton, took time and going and finding out, I mean, actually going inside himself in the spirit and finding out how he was built and how he works. And he found the spirit, soul, and body that had doors. If I remember correctly, the view from the overhead view here of the spirit, soul, and body and the glory of God and the different gateways are from Ian Clayton, and he took time to investigate this out as a pioneer in heavenly realms. Probably took him months to figure this all out. We have the advantage of seeing it right in front of our eyes, and the key thing about it is knowing how to make it function. In heavenly realms, it's all about function. As long as you can make it work, it doesn't matter whether you heard it, saw it, sensed it, felt it. However you were made aware of it, if you know the door is there and you're able to open and close it, that's the key thing. In heavenly realms, there are many doors besides these. Talking about elevators, there are also, on the ascension, there are also everlasting doors in heavenly places that you can open and close. You're going to be on many ascensions where there'll be doors, and the question will be, as a group, should we go through it or not? And the group will get leading to yes or no, and the group will say yes. If they say yes, then the group goes through the door in the next room or whatever. I've gone into other rooms in heavenly realms, and I've gone into other dimensions as we went through a door in heavenly realms. It actually can take you to someplace else besides a room. So there are lots of doors, and you get used to doors. In this case, gate, door, same thing. Point is, it opens and closes. Now, for myself, this particular image, in my imagination, I picture my gates kind of like a guillotine. So I've got a doorway, and I've got this steel gate that goes up and down from top to bottom, and I open the door and close the door. Sometimes I look at a gate and I see that it's closed. Sometimes I see it's open. Sometimes I've seen little gray cloud in the top right-hand corner. I knew something was going on with that needed some attention. Right now, we're just picturing doors, and now we're going to begin to picture using our imagination. Now, this is imagination looking at something that's real, that has a function. Your spirit, soul, and body do not have this shape. None of us has a circular body. So this is just a functional diagram of what your spirit, soul, and body looks like and the various gateways. In my own case, I can picture this kind of inside me. I can picture it kind of like a plate that I can tilt it and look at it from different angles. That's how I see it. And as I paint the picture, you may see it that way also in your imagination. Now, in your imagination, picture this as a large enough thing that you can actually walk on a floor with walls that have doors or gates. And you can walk around in here and look at the doors. Again, what the doors or gates look like does not make a difference. It's your imagination. However you see it is fine. The point is that it's a door or a gate, and it can be opened or closed, and it can be blocked from opening. So let's start with the spirit section. Picture yourself in there. Take a look at the first love gate. Can you see it in your spirit? Use your imagination. Is it open or closed? Is there anything on it? Now, if you were in this situation and you were not seeing it clearly, you could ask the question, and Father, Jesus, Holy Spirit, whoever you talk to, can answer the question and tell you about that door. In other words, you're engaging this doorway, this gate, with either sight or by listening to being told or by just sensing that it's open or closed, like I did when I almost walked into the door in the dark. I sensed that it was there. Or feeling, however it works for you is fine. It doesn't matter. It's just a matter of getting the door open or closed and knowing what's going on with that door, one way or another. Now, turn around from your first love gate and look the other way. And you can walk around the circle and picture a door for prayer, a door for fear of God, a door for intuition, a door for revelation, a door for worship. Almost all of us have our worship gate door open, because almost all of us have done corporate worship. If we haven't done corporate worship, we've done personal worship. The hope door, the faith door, the reverence door. Take a look at them. See them in your imagination. Are they open? Are they closed? Are they half open? Your worship gate is almost undoubtedly open. If you have a lot of hope, your hope gate is open. If you've been having a little bit of hopelessness or hope deferred, your hope might not be all that much open. Your faith gate may be open all the way. It may be partway open. By the way, just speaking for it to open or close may open or close it if it's unobstructed. Scripture says, lift up your heads, O ye gates. Be lifted up, O ancient doors, that the King of Glory may come in. So you can speak to a gate or a door, and it will open or close. In this case, we're speaking to open. I'd like you to do this exercise of simply picturing doors and then picturing this model of gateways for the first love gate with the glory of God inside there, the spirit gates, the soul gates, and the body gates. Notice body is eye, nose, ear, mouth, feeling. Soul is conscience, reason, imagination, mind, made up of unconscious, subconscious, and conscious. Emotions. If your emotions are blocked somewhat, that may not be open all the way. Choice, will, and spirit. We've got prayer, fear of God, intuition, revelation, worship, hope, faith, reverence. I'm working on intuition myself. There was a time in my life where I almost always picked the toll gate that had the slowest people. If I'd gone to the one next to it, I would have been off and gone, but here I am waiting for these people that are doing whatever they're doing, fumbling for money or whatever it is, or the checkout line at the supermarket. I would pick the slowest one. And so I've been working on my intuition. That's my intuition gate that I'm working on. It's a function. You may be aware that a gate is open and closed simply by the lack of something in your life. I mean, if there's one particular area, seeing, hearing, by the way, people smell as well. They taste and see the Lord is good. Some people smell good and evil. Some people in heavenly places, when a meal is put out there, they'll smell the whole meal down to, I mean, every part of it, how good it is. Smell the wine when communion is placed before you in heavenly places. I know people that have smelled the incense in the throne room. So you will have areas that you are stronger at and areas that you're not so strong at. And you can use your strong areas to begin with, but then you're going to want to work on your areas that need to be strengthened and get them strengthened. Right now, my purpose is simply for you to learn how to see and imagine and find these doors, these gates. So I think that you've got something to work with for a little while, and we will come back a second time and talk about what to do with these gates once you've been able to sense that they're there one way or another. Remember, the whole thing is being able to open and close the gate. How you know it's there and how you open and close it is up to you. Doesn't make a difference. The real purpose here is functioning. Functioning. As long as you can function, it doesn't matter how it is that you function. If you can get that gate open, when you get that gate open, pardon me, when you get that gate open, what you did to open it can be part of your imagination or part of your own experience with the Lord, or it can be part of the actual experience of the condition of a particular gate, your particular gate. But the key here is learning how to function, however that might be. As long as you can open and close that door, that's all that matters. Practice opening and closing that door to a room. Practice going and looking at the gateways of your spirit, soul, and body, and looking at your first love gateway. That's a great start.